Hey, it's Joe. Welcome to the Passover Kitchen. Today we are going to make a very contentious dessert. Okay, contentious in my house. Why? Because my wife and I pronounce it differently. Now the truth is that this is my wife's recipe, and so she thinks that she has the right to claim nomenclature in the way that it is pronounced. But what we're going to make today is Mandelbrot. And Mandel is the German word for almond. So it seems logical to me that if you're going to make Mandelbrot, it should be the German word for bread, Mandelbrot, or the Yiddish Mandelbrot. But my wife pronounces it Mandelbread. Okay, go figure. Either way, it's delicious and everyone in the house loves to eat it for Passover. So let's get started. We've got 2 cups of sugar, 8 ounces of margarine, and you don't have to be afraid if you want to make this dairy to substitute butter, but obviously since we're eating this with a fleshik meal, we make it parve. We've got 6 eggs, 3/4 a cup of potato starch, a little bit of salt. We've got 10 ounces of parve chocolate chips, and we've got 2 3/4 cup of matzah cake meal. Very important that it be cake meal, not matzah meal. Okay, so first we're gonna start off like a lot of recipes by creaming the margarine and the sugar. So that's 2 cups of sugar. And we toss in our margarine and we use our handy dandy cordless mixer. And we're just gonna cream everything. Now normally I would have cut the margarine up into small bits, but I knew that this was already very soft. And we're going to add the eggs one at a time. So now that I've got that creamed, I'm going to take the cake meal mixture, okay? And that's 2 3/4 cup cake meal and 3/4 cup of potato starch, and I'm going to just toss them together. And I'm going to put in a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Salt helps to bring out the flavors and things. So yes, even in many baking dishes, it is present. And I'm just going to gently combine those. And now I'm back to this bowl. And I'm just going to add this in very slowly. I'm going to add in my parve chocolate chips, and yes, you could add in walnuts as well if you like that. Okay, and it is done. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to turn this out. The dough will be very sticky, but we're going to put a little bit more cake meal on our hands and roll it out into like a little mound shape. So I'm just adding a little cake meal to my hands. So I'm going to put a little cake meal down more on the cutting board as well. And now I'm going to turn this out. Not too bad at all. So all we're going to do is just cut the loaf into half. Okay. I'm just going to flatten that a little bit. It's almost like a biscotti shape. It's not going to rise very much, right? Because there isn't a rising agent in the recipe. But there you go. And we're going to slip that into a 350-degree oven for approximately 30 minutes. Okay, so our Mandelbrot has been baking for about 35-40 minutes. Let's see how it's doing. Ah, look at that, nice golden color. Okay, and we're going to transfer it over very gently, very carefully to a cooling rack. Okay, you want to cut these while they're still warm-ish, not hot, but also not cold. Okay. So now we're going to slice the Mandelbrot into pieces that are perfect for dessert. Okay, and that's slicing very nicely. It's still warm to the touch, not hot. And we're going to let that cool completely for the final step. So this may be gilding the lily a little bit, but we're going to take our Mandelbrot and we're going to dip it into chocolate. In order to dip it into chocolate, we're going to need to temper the chocolate so that it stays firm once you finish dipping it. So I'm just going to show you how to do that in the microwave real quick. And I've got about 8 ounces of chocolate there. Okay, we just want to cook it for 30 seconds. We're also going to use our thermometer spatula. You can see that the thermometer is built into the head of the spatula right there. Okay, and we don't want our chocolate to go over 90 degrees temperature. Now, when we do it for 30 seconds, we're going to stir it, and then we're going to put it back in for another 15 seconds. But we're always going to keep an eye on the temperature. Chocolate melts at body temperature. So that's one of the things that makes chocolate so enjoyable. Okay, definitely getting more moist, but I can see it's going to take some time to get this right. By doing this very carefully, in a measured way, very slowly, it makes sure that the chocolate doesn't go above the required temperature. And look at our temperature right there. That's 87. That's getting close to perfect. Okay. And we are good. We are ready to dip. We're just going to dip the Mandelbrot in, give it a little help with the spatula, and away we go. Your guests are gonna go crazy for these. We want to wish you a happy Passover. Hope you will enjoy eating our Mandelbrot. Zis and Pesach.